every show. Start with our Seahawks. Team brought back former punter Jon Ryan on a one-day contract to retire with the Seahawks. Jon Ryan spent 10 of his 12 NFL seasons in the city of Seattle, setting numerous team records and winning a Super Bowl title along with 2 NFC championships before he went on to finish his football career in the Canadian Football League. That decade with the Seahawks did leave a lasting impression on a quote-unquote redheaded kid from Canada. Also gained the nickname the Ginger Ninja when he was here in Seattle. He officially ended his football career as a member of the Seahawks, signing a one-day contract back on the 15th to allow him to retire as a member of the organization. His pro career began back with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers following a college career in which he played both punter and receiver at the University of Regina. He then made the leap to the NFL in 2006, signing with the Green Bay Packers at the time. He would join the Seahawks 2 years later in 2008, kicking off a decade-long run in which a punter established himself not only as a fan favorite, but also as something of a franchise icon. Over the course of his 10-year career in Seattle, he punted 770 times for 34,492 yards, with 276 of those 770 punts down inside the 20-yard line, all of those numbers which are franchise records. So really cool to have Jon be able to retire as a member of the Seahawks, guy that, was such a constant for so long with the franchise, had some incredible moments. Obviously, the NFC Championship game against the Packers, where he threw that touchdown to Gary Gilliam, is something that folks will remember, whether it's the touchdown in the play itself or the face that Jon Ryan was making during that. His fake punt against the Rams on, I believe it was Thursday Night Football, in those nice action green uniforms, where he eventually got crushed when he bobbled the ball and fell down later into that play. So it's really cool. He's also involved with baseball a little bit, but that's not what we're talking about. So we'll move over here and continue it in. After the Jon Ryan news, there's not a ton going on necessarily for the Seahawks, outside of some stuff that relates to free agency and approaching the draft and trading camp. So we'll go to that. On the 17th, the team hosted former running back Rashad Penny for a visit. The 28-year-old Penny, who was previously the number 27 overall pick back in the 2018 draft, showed flashes of talent during 5 injury-marred seasons with Seattle before he signed a 1-year deal with the Eagles in March of last year. He played pretty sparingly with Philadelphia last year, rushing for just 33 yards on only 11 carries, as he was essentially 4th on the Eagles depth chart behind DeAndre Swift, Kenneth Gainwell, and Boston Scott as well. Penny rushed for 1,918 yards, as well as 13 touchdowns across his 5 seasons with the Seahawks, averaging 5.7 yards per carry over that stretch. He did catch fire during the final 5 games of the 2021 season, which had a lot of fans hoping that maybe this was it. He was finally breaking through, and then made it a difficult decision for the organization to want to bring him back long-term or give him a shorter-term deal, as he ran for 671 yards and 6 touchdowns at 7.3 yards per carry as he filled in for injured starter Chris Carson. 2 days later, the team invited quarterback Corey Curtis to minicamp. In addition to several visits from top prospects in this upcoming draft, with multiple meetings with Michigan's J.J. McCarthy, Oregon's Bo Nix, UCF's Johnny Rees Plumlee, and Spencer Rattler from the University of South Carolina, not Southern. The team also invited former Ohio State quarterback Corey Curtis to their rookie minicamp. Curtis never actually got on the field for the Ohio State Buckeyes, so he transferred to Bryant and then to D2 school Gannon, where you see the photo on your screen from, where he started 2 years throwing 47 touchdowns and 11 interceptions total. Since that time, he has been playing in the Arena League. So this is kind of an interesting one. It's kind of an out of left field sort of thing. Obviously, Seattle has some scouts all over the board. So it's kind of funny to hear if we ever do how they're able to find Curtis here. But definitely, we're getting to that time where, you want to give guys a shot. You want people to compete in camp, and getting a guy like Curtis an invitation does just. So outside of looking at mini camp and stuff like that, with the Seahawks getting to go to stuff like that, and getting to host events such as that because of the new coach. There's also looking ahead to the NFL draft. The NFL draft scheduled to be held around campus, Marcius Park and Hart Plaza in Detroit, Michigan, spans from April 25th through April 27th. That is Thursday, through Saturday for Seattle. Obviously the 16th pick that they have is the big talk there. It'll be really interesting to see whether or not they actually decide to use that pick and go with somebody. If we're going to do this thing that we did last year where I have to sit here and pick who I think that Seattle's going to take, I think it's just going to be an edge rusher. I'd go a lot out of UCLA. A lot of mocks have had offensive lineman Troy Fatuanu from University of Washington going there. There's the calls for Michael Penix Jr. to get picked there by Seattle. They could also trade out of it, which they've done historically in the past, but obviously it's a new regime. So above all else, I'm saying they're going to take a defensive player and an edge rusher. That's my pick. That's what it is. And I'm going to leave it at that.